Game Beard. Hi gamers, so today we're going to continue our series on basic painting and we're going to talk about underpainting. Now, I don't use pure underpainting by itself a lot, and I'll talk about that, but I do use a lot of aspects of it. So for instance, you may remember last time we primed this creature. I think this is a hound. Yeah, this is the Hound of Tyndalos. He looks more like a Tyranid, but he looks pretty cool for a Cthulhu monster. And I spray painted him black, right? And what I did was I tried to prep this model for underpainting, right? I'm not going to underpaint the whole model. So what I did is I dry brushed him. So I dry brushed him, you know, like a light gray purple. That's the first step I did. And if you don't know about dry brushing, just watch the basic tutorial on dry brushing. It'll come after this one or soon after, right? Then what I did was to further prep my model. Like I'm not gonna necessarily. I don't need to underpaint the rest of the body, but for the head in particular, well, actually the mouth. It's the mouth. The head is mostly white, but the mouth is going to be like a pinky, actually a dark pinky flesh. Here's the original card that I'm going for. So it's kind of like a purple. And so what I need to do is I want to put a wash on this. So I needed a lighter value on this weird tongue thing and this mouth thing, right, and the head. So I dry brushed it a lighter, I don't know, lavender. Here, this thing. Remember this? Tentacle pink. Hey, how appropriate. This shows you how old I am and how experienced I am. Anyways, this is when like Games Workshop paint was kind of rad, and it didn't dry out because that's like probably 20 years old. Anyways, I prepped it, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a wash in here of color. Now let's see, what else did I prep for wash? I prepped this tentacle guy. I may not do him. Well, no, I think I will. This is like a red, right? I don't know. Okay. These guys I prepped. I don't know if you remember what I did was I spray painted them black, and then I also spray painted them a lighter beige. And I don't know, created like this highlight effect, right? Like there's a light source coming down, and I dry brushed it. And I kind of like the effect. So I may keep most of this. He's supposed to be kind of like a darker black creature. Let's see, do I have his card handy? I don't have his card handy. But anyways, I like the effect, so I might keep most of this. I might just add a little bit of a wash later. You can see that in the wash video. Now here is a truly prepped model for underpainting, right? So what I did is a character from Dust. This is Rosie, just like, you know, Rosie the Riveter, and she's a mechanic. And so what I did was I primed her black, right? So I spray painted her black, and then I dry brushed her white. Again, we'll talk about dry brushing in the future. It's basically I dry brushed her white, and what it does is, you know, it keeps the black in the recesses, right? So it looks like shadows. And ooh, look at that. There's a seam. That's funny. We'll worry about that later. Anyways, one thing I found that sometimes you can't see seams until you start painting them right here. So what would I do with that seam? I would just simply fix it later and then paint over it, right? Sometimes these models are so detailed you can't see the seams. Anyways, spray painted her black, dry brushed her white, so she's ready to go. And what's going to happen is I'm going to use kind of washes of color to build up on the foundation of these light and dark values. And that's going to create a nice look sometimes, right? But lately, I don't do this. I don't usually spray paint a whole figure black and then dry brush it white. Typically nowadays, I just spray paint my character white, just completely white, and then I just use the washes, and then I just darken the washes if it wasn't dark enough, right? If there's not a dark enough value. And I get a similar result, and it's just easier just to start with a white primer and then just use washes. And I'll probably show you that in the washing basic tutorial, right? But for now, this is one aspect. This is one way that you can do it. And this is good for dirty jeans and dirty uniforms and stuff like that. It should look good on these pants. We're gonna find out, right? Um, it doesn't always work perfectly, and we're gonna find out in real time if that works. So let's begin. But I don't want to begin with this figure. Let's begin with let's see. Gosh, was I gonna do this guy? I'm gonna do this guy first. So let's apply. Let's apply. I'm gonna just use like a brick red. Let's see. Where's my brick red? I kind of don't want to use brick red, but the source kind of is it's darker there. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna use a little bit of brick red. So let's see. I'm gonna get a lot of water. I'm gonna get some of this brick red. I'm gonna mix it in. I usually have a junky brush that I use to get the paint onto my palette. And this is like a cheap Walmart brush, right? You buy them in these packs. But usually for washes and things, it usually works pretty good. I usually don't switch brushes. Okay, so let's see how this works. So let's see if I added enough water. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So usually, let me look at my card source. Yeah, okay, so this goes down to here. I usually get a lot of water. I tend to use too much water. So whatever your preference is, go for it. If it's too light, then I just paint a couple more coats on or paint an extra coat. Okay. So here you can see that, yeah, it looks like it's too light there. I'm looking at my screen. All right, here we go. But here you can see that the color is applied to the values that were already kind of underneath there. That's kind of nice. It's a nice effect. It's a nice, oh, I hit my camera. Ha 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 ha. Wow. Just like real gamers, real life. This ain't no high production studio yet. That is, we're starting off small. You get in on the ground level watching these videos. Soon you'll see the progress of us at GameBeard becoming big shot professionals with high quality video and lighting techniques. But for now, I hit my camera with my brush. Real gamers, real tutorials, real talk. Okay, anyways, let's see here. Boy, I'm looking at my screen and it looks like it's really washing it out. So in life, this is a little darker. I did up my brightness a teeny bit, but I don't know. But this looks good in real life. This looks better in real life. It's a little darker. It's not so bright here. But you can see it really got into the cracks. The white, the original white, kind of creates a highlight. If that's too light later, usually it dries a little darker. So I'm going to put this aside. That screen's not doing it justice. This has a little more color in it than what you can see. But anyways, that's it. That looks good. Okay, let's move on to this guy. This guy, he has kind of, I'm looking at his reference. It's kind of like a purple. I'm gonna keep that, and I'm gonna add a little bit of purple. How much purple? I don't know. A little bit. Start it over here first. I'm gonna move it in. Usually I just test on the model. If it doesn't look good, I'll change it. Ooh, I added a lot of purple there. Okay, let's go for it. Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay. So lucky me. I like it. Now, here's the thing. If it wasn't 100% perfect, later I'm going to be dry brushing this again and then maybe doing another bit of a wash. So, I mean, this is just it's a process. It's a back and forth process of washing and dry brushing back on. And again, these processes, this is a wash, kind of. Wash is basically where you add water to your paint, right? And it's really liquidy, and it's not opaque. It's not opaque. I'm sorry, I almost said transparent. It has a transparent look, and so that's a basic wash. They sell washes and stuff like Citadel contrast paints, right? So a lot of people like those, but they're pretty expensive. But try them if they work, great. But I'm too cheap to use those things. And like I said, for many years, I have, I like my process, and I feel like I get pretty good results. So I like my results. They're easy, they're inexpensive, and I'm just accustomed to them. So you'll develop your own processes. Maybe you'll adapt some of my ideas. You'll have your own. Maybe you'll use expensive stuff like Citadel contrast paint. But man, those things are expensive. But basically, they're a nice wash, right? They're like a really good, they're like an ink almost, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I just know better not to buy those expensive paints. Okay, so let's see. Did I get it all? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Notice I just used my crummy brush. Look at this, I even taped it together. Sweet, huh? This is like any gamer, right? Every gamer, every gamer. Not some big shot professional. But like I said, if you're careful and practice, you should have good supplies. Like I have good brushes, but like I said, for stuff like washes, it's kind of, it's kind of rough anyways, so I can use a rough brush. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So that's the beginning of my wash. And again, the wash combined with the lighter and darker values, it creates not a finished effect, but like almost there, and it looks pretty good. I usually half paint my models like this because they look pretty good just to get them into a game rapidly, and then I come back and finish them up, right? I finish them up later, but I don't want to paint with just gray models like whatever. So I'll paint them like this, and I can paint them pretty rapidly. Now remember last time how when I primed this model and I didn't get under here very well, and I was like, oh man, and it was kind of embarrassing. Well, remember when I dry brushed this Hound of Tyndalos to prep for this video, you can already see it's looking better. Like I kind of dry brushed in here and stuff like that. Like I dry brushed in this, I don't know, like there's like a cavity in his body. And some of those highlights are mixing in with that original gray, and it's already looking better, right? I still need to go in, here I can point. I still need to go in here and add a little bit of black later, like right in here. But eventually I'm going to do that. Eventually what I'm going to do is like I dry brush, I do some wash, and then I go in and I'll paint some black back in, like in the dark areas. That way I don't have to edge it as much. And so I'll go in and I'll paint this stuff. And so it'll look great. So it's already looking pretty, it's looking better, right? You wouldn't really notice it. So anyways, okay, so that's him. Let's see, does he have anything on his head? No. This could be a little brighter. This could be like, maybe I'll put like a light wash of like a beige, and then I'll dry brush it again white. His head's a little different than his mouth. And then maybe I'll dry brush this stuff, maybe like a pink. Maybe I'll use my tentacle pink again on top of it. And then, we'll see. Okay, well, let's put him aside. Okay, now it's time for Rosie. Okay, so let's start with her pants. One thing I failed to mention is usually you want to, the best thing to work with washes on stuff like underpainting is like highly saturated colors that aren't opaque. And you're like, what? Like, what do you mean? Well, what I mean is sometimes colors like this, they're opaque, right? This is another old school. This one's almost empty. Sometimes these are like opaque, and sometimes lighter colors are opaque, and they don't work very well with this process. So you'll find which ones, like, so what is this? Oh, it's Formula P3. Coal black works pretty good. Some of these dark browns work good. Let's see. I don't know, olive drab works great. So this always looks good. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Ordic olive. Oh, pardon me. Let's see, here I got this one. Oh, this is a coat of arms. Oh, that's Russian green. Okay, whatever, close enough. But you get the idea. Anyways, this color is not 100% opaque. And you know what, that's another good thing about like Privateer Press, they have Thalmer black. It's like here, I guess I don't want that purple in there, I guess. Thalmer black it's not like a super dark black, right? But in a wash, it looks really good. Like sometimes I'll like if I have a black cape and I'm doing a character, I will I'll spray paint it white, right? And then I'll just paint the cape black. But with Thalmer black, it's a Privateer Press color, I believe. Is it right here? Nope, that's not it. Anyways, yeah, this guy, right? It's not super opaque, and so it works great as a wash. And And then what I do is I build up my, so I'll show you this in my wash video, but this is great. So, you know, that's where it's like a, some people might turn their nose at it, at that color because, oh my gosh, it's not very opaque. No, it works great. Okay, okay, I gotta get this really wet. Let's try this. Okay, here we go. Oops, she's out of, okay. Yeah. That was a little too wet though. Let me see if I can dry my brush a little. Let me get a little more of this. Yeah. I'm just gonna paint over her knee pads. Okay. Too wet there, so I'm gonna push it around. So this looks good for, what color is this? This was coal black. Right? It's not a black. It's like a blue. But anyways, it looks good for real dark jeans. Not necessarily blue jeans. She's originally in a lighter pair of jeans. So I might use a different blue. And they work. Trying not to get on that pack. Trying not to get on those boots. Let's see. Oh, gotta get a little bit up here. Oh, I got a little on that strap. There we go. Real time here. Real time painting and real painter. Is that excuse my mistakes? Okay. Okay, so right here, it looks nice. It looks nice and worn, like nice worn jean, right? But I can maybe try to add a little more color in there. So let's see. I'm gonna try to just kind of paint it in. Maybe not on that highlight. Maybe I'll kind of leave that. And maybe here too. So I can kind of paint those in. Oh, fumble. Okay, looks pretty good. Let's see. I can do a little bit here. Again, this is my crappy brush, right? I have nicer brushes. I'm just too lazy to use them. You know, sometimes when you're painting tons of armies, you're painting like 30 guys, and if the result, sometimes you're just too lazy, it's probably a mistake. So maybe I should advise you, pick up the good brush, but a lot of times I'll stick with this brush. It's pretty good. Okay. I don't know, this looks pretty good. Okay, maybe we should do another color. So let's see, I'm looking at my screen. That looks pretty good. So I mean, that's a nice result of underpainting. Now, if I later, if this dries, it usually dries a little darker, I believe. See, I want to get a little more in there. So if it dries, but you can see it's creating those highlights, and I don't have to do edging. And we'll talk about edging and how much I hate edging. A lot of people like to do edging. I mean, I don't blame them. It looks great. Edging looks good, but it's time consuming and it's a bummer. So this gives me some nice highlights on those jeans, kind of a worn look, and I don't have to edge it as much. Maybe I'll edge it if this is like a real essential, real important character that I'm going to use in every battle. Maybe I'd go in and I'd edge it a little more, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll put a couple little highlights, but I don't have to edge it as much because I have a lot of nice, I have that underpainting, right? Okay, so let's see. What other color am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to try her, she's got some browns. Let's see here. Did I get it out? Oh my gosh, I didn't get the brown out. Oh man, I got to look for it. Okay, let's go for, let's see what we got here. It's kind of a yellow. I don't know about that one. Let's see here. Shoot. Okay, let's go for this one. What's this? This is what do you call it? I forget who these guys are. Master Series. This is the Bones guys. Oh my gosh. What's wrong with me? I forgot their name. Reaper. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Reaper. You're like, why did you buy Reaper paints, Dave? Because I needed Battletech bases, and they sell them. And I wanted free shipping. So I had to order a certain amount, and so I'm like, I'll just buy some paints. And I like their paints. I bought a bunch of browns. Let me show them to you. You're like, that has nothing to do with underpainting, Dave. I know. So I bought a bunch of these. I bought a bunch of browns, and I love them. I love them. So, I mean, maybe Vallejo's better, but anyways, Reaper, not bad paints. I kind of like them. I mean, they're good, right? Okay, so let's try this. Okay, here we go. Here you can see my color. I haven't tried this. Okay, I'm going to add some water. I'm a little concerned that this is going to be too opaque. Usually these lighter browns are opaque. Let's try it. I'm not really, okay, wait, let me get my brush. Okay, here we go. Let's try her glove here. Too much water. Okay. Let's try. Really want to try it on this little pack she has here. Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it. Now, obviously, she has little tools in here. I'll have to paint those silver and maybe add a black wash later. But I'm just going to paint the whole item brown. Well, you'll be able to see it better, but sometimes it's easier just to paint the whole thing and then come back. Sometimes it's more difficult to avoid something than just to paint it. You just paint it and then you paint over it later. Okay, let's see if I can get the strap. Let's see if I can get the strap with this crappy brush. Here we go. But see, look, it's already forming a tip. Okay, okay, here we go. Yeah, that's how we roll here. Yeah, not bad. Too lazy to get another, okay, I got it. I don't know. I could always throw a wash on top of this too. That's probably what I'd do. I got some nice washes. Privateer press ones. What's my favorite? I would use, gosh, where is it? Is it this one? No, not brown ink. No, Flesh Wash is good. Here it is. Caspian. I like Caspian. It's kind of like a yellow. It's not a red beige. It's like it has kind of a little bit of yellow mixed in, and it's kind of nice. It's nice for, like, this pack kind of needs to be yellow. Does she have any other yellow parts on her? Her gloves. Oh, she's got this other glove. Let's paint it. Let's see here. It's okay. It's kind of opaque. And if it was a darker color, like these pants, it would work a little better. All right. Can you even see it? Am I off camera? If I'm off camera, doesn't that just add a bunch of charm? Like if my miniature was like off camera and you couldn't see it, and you're probably screaming at the TV like, Dave, I can't see the miniature. You're such a hack. It's like I'm adding drama. I'm adding drama to your video watching experience. It looks like she's flipping you off. But the original, I'm looking at this. She has two fingers up. Yeah. I don't know. It looks like, I think that's why kids like it. It's like, oh, that's so funny. So edgy. Yeah, okay. It looks like she has one finger up, but then she only has two fingers on the side, so I don't know, man. No, I guess that would be the middle finger, right? Oh yeah. Okay, she is flipping you off. Never mind. That's cool. Your mom doesn't want you to have this miniature. Okay, so let's look at it. Let's see. I can see it better on the screen. Let's see. Not bad. Again, this is just the first steps in these process. Should I do her boots? Her boots are so tiny. Let me try this. I got Dark Earth. What is it? Oh, it's Cote d'Arms though. This ain't Privateer Press. Cote d'Arms is an older. I think they're all sold out. Like, I picked them up, pretty cheaply. But they're very similar. I think they were like the original paint supplier for Games Workshop, like back in the day, back in this day, right? And so it was inexpensive, and I liked it. Sometimes inexpensive is fine. Okay, let's try it though. Let's try it on this gun. Skin doesn't wash well. So I'd probably, unless it's like a real wash, like. So usually when I do the skin, it's like I just put an opaque layer on, and then for the skin, and then I just put a wash of like those Privateer Press washes. Like they have Flesh Wash, Caspian, and then there's something like their Flesh Wash is kind of Okashite wash. This is kind of has a red. So if you want to have some red, pink skin, I go for that. But those are nice. I mean, those are what I use. Again, we'll talk about those during wash video. Remember, a wash is just watered down paint, right? Let's see how this is gonna look. Sometimes on weapons, like you'll spray paint it black and just dry brush it dry brush it like metallics on top, and it looks good. But I really like the worn effect of black on an underpainting like this. So like I said, when I have characters, I don't mind. Like the gun will be white, and I'll just wash it with black, like with a color, with a Thalmor black, like a paint, not a wash. And I like the worn effect it gives me. It's kind of nice. Okay, I can't even see here. Looks like she's holding a. I think it's gonna go right there. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Did I get it all? Doesn't matter. It's a video. It's a. Okay. I think I got it. Let me look at that screen. Yeah, so you can see it has a worn look. Now, am I finished with that? Not necessarily. I might put like a dark black wash on that, like a wash, like a armor wash, wherever that is. Armor wash. I might do that. I might just use a little bit of black and just water it down and put it in there. I might use a little bit of brown, so a dark brown. I like to do that too, like a real dark brown. Anyways, that's it. So let's see. Does she look good? She's getting there. She's getting there. What would I? Her shirt is like a white, so I'd probably use like a real watered down beige, like maybe something like this. All right. So what is this? Hammerfell khaki. Right. But whatever, you know. Okay, that's pretty good. So that's underpainting. The pants look the best. Let's see the pants. Let's see. Okay. The rocket looks good. Right now it's wet, so it's kind of shiny. Um, and then, but yeah, the pants look great. The pack looks pretty good. It's so tiny. I would maybe add, if you wanted it darker, see, I could always add a brown wash too, like those ones I showed you. But this is just a beginning in the process. Oh, and then you can always you put a wash on your dirt, and it looks real nice. So like this is we talked about basing in a previous video, and if I just give it a nice wash, it'll look good, like a brown wash. Here's what I use. I use whatever. It's like a Reaper. So I'd probably use this one. What is this? Driftwood Brown Reaper. This is just what I like. This is, and it would look like the ones you saw. And then maybe a wash of different combinations of washes in there, but that's it. So that's underpainting. Do I do a lot of underpainting? No, like I said earlier, I don't totally underpaint a full figure like this. Like I would have spray painted this whole thing just white, and then I would just brush it in there. The Thalmor black would look good, but stuff like that brown may not look as good because it's kind of I would maybe paint it and then just put a wash on top of it. But basically it's like a combination of all kinds of things. I like to do sometimes I will sometimes I will it's a combination. I'm going to dry brush it. I'm going to make this brighter. Like I'm going to underpaint an area that I'm going to paint a wash on. So like this has to be lighter than the body, so I'll dry brush it a white, but not the whole body, and then I'll wash that area. So I use a little combination where it's needed, right? Where it's needed. And then these guys, I prepped these guys for underpainting, but I really like the effect. It was like that beige is mixing in with that white. And so now I'm just going to maybe paint these eyes and just kind of jewel those eyes. Oh, look, I can see a seam there. Oh, gosh, can you see it? That's goofy. I'm telling you, sometimes you can't see these seams until you paint them. Because this thing is so detailed. So the question is, what am I going to do? Am I going to clean that? Probably. Like, I probably won't clean all of it. I'll clean it on the eyes. I could have sworn I sanded these things. Okay, you got it. So, underpainting. That's it. Are you going to do it? Maybe. I don't know. I would try spray painting your characters white and then just doing washes and then building up your washes. And then you can just watch the wash video when I get to it. So that's it for today. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.